It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, celebrating more than 15 years of scholarships. Learn more at myarkansasLottery.com.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, largest inventory of Razorback merchandise in the business and locally owned by a family of Arkansas alums. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
Hit that line, keep on rolling, put the ball right down the field with a chair on rock, never feel rock, Arkansas will never hear.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
When they run through that A here in 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't need Viagra, but that's my Viagra when they run through.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
And we welcome you into what is an historic afternoon in the state of Arkansas. Arkansas and Arkansas State getting ready to square off for the first time and probably the last time in the history of these two institutions. It also very well may be the last game in the history of War Memorial Stadium. Zach Arns alongside Colton Little, and we've got a lot to cuss and discuss, and we're going to talk about all of it in the next 2 hours here on Arkansas Game Day. If you want to get in, it's 877-377-6963. You can call or text. It's the same number. Messages will reach either of us, and we will be happy to talk about this matchup. And Colton, I don't know about you, but I took in a little high school football last night. It was 58 degrees this morning when I went and ran Lake Fayetteville. It finally feels like football season. The NFL last night. We've got college football all day today. It is finally here, and I think we can get into that rhythm that is college football.
Well, Zach, while I'm sure you were a part of a really good broadcast and everything last night in Springdale, I had to suffer through the YouTube broadcast of the Chiefs and Chargers game, which ended up being a very good game. The Chiefs look completely different than they have over the last several years. I mean, it seems like it's a curse for the Chiefs every year now that Tyreek Hill is gone for them to just have the most insane receiving core out there. And I mean insane in a negative way. Always getting hurt, always getting injured, always throwing tantrums. So Mahomes didn't look as great as he has in the past. He looked a little bit mortal, but I'm sure that the broadcast was better than the abomination. I saw Mr. Beast on my television screen way more than I ever should have last night, Zach.
I caught the very end of it, and at some point I'm going to go back and take a look at the YouTube broadcast because I'm always, looking for different things that we can add to our broadcasts and things. And
you won't take much from that.
Won't find much there. But I did catch the very end of it. It looked like game one. This NFL season is a long season. Mm-hmm. And so is the college football season. So is the high school football season. You can't make these sweeping. It's one of the things that drives me nuts is we have these sweeping mass reactions after 1 week. And you're going to have a very different football team in week 1 than you are, let's say, in week 10. So That is where we begin today. The Arkansas State Red Wolves are in Little Rock to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. This is going to be Arkansas. I think it's 223rd. Did I hear that correctly? 223rd
Somewhere
game?
Around the 220 mark, the number of games they played there. Yeah, a lot. A lot more than Arkansas State.
Somewhere in there, Arkansas will probably and most likely play their last game at War Memorial Stadium. And I'm not big on the great stadium debate. I think it's very one-sided. The folks that argue for Little Rock have the only reason that they can give you is that it gives access to the Razorbacks to people from the southern part of the state. My argument is there's a 4-lane highway that they just built, which makes Fayetteville accessible. Fayetteville used to be inaccessible for most teams and fans who wanted to get up there. The stadium didn't have lights. There was no airport. And the only way to get up here was a Highway 23 or Highway 71, which were both death traps. Mm-hmm. That doesn't exist anymore. You can get from Little Rock to Fayetteville in 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's not that bad a drive. So the only argument is nostalgia is the only reason to keep the games in Little Rock. The stadium has not kept up with, and these are just facts. I mean, the stadium just has not kept up with the Joneses. The only thing that has changed over time is everything else in Little Rock's War Memorial Stadium has stayed very much the same. It's time to move the games out the campuses in Northwest Arkansas. It's just time. And I can't think of a better way for this stadium to close itself out than with these two teams getting together.
Yeah, the matchup they said was never going to happen, ones that people had probably waited a lot of their lives to see, and some people actually didn't, and now there's a lot of us to get the pleasure of seeing it today. And I've given more thought to Arkansas State in this past week than I have in years. And so this is a good thing for the state. I'm happy to see that it's going to be in War Memorial one last time. But like you said, Zach, anybody still arguing that for this to be continuously dragged on and for them to keep kicking this can down the road and signing up for more contracts to play there is on the wrong side of history. It's not necessary anymore, and it's also now dangerous for people, for fans, for sometimes the players occasionally when I know the turf has been upgraded, but in the past it wasn't the best place to play. I think I saw Scooter Harris tweet about how every single time he made a tackle there, it felt like he was just, falling onto concrete. So things have changed. They may have upgraded here or there, but as you said, Zach, this is an SEC program. You shouldn't be playing anywhere else but SEC level facilities. And I'm like, when it's all said and done, War Memorial is going to be a nice little caveat. It's going to be a nice little niche of what makes Arkansas football and Arkansas football's program, or Arkansas football program's history very rich and unique. But it's time to move on. It's time to, if you love something, what do you got to do, Zach? You got to let it go.
Let it go. You got to let it go. There are a lot of layers to this, and I find some of it like I arrived here in 1991 as a freshman at the University of Arkansas. To me, at that point in time, it's only been, and it's probably arguable, that Arkansas State has had as successful a program as Arkansas has since the turn of the century. When I arrived here, Arkansas State was this outpost. You couldn't get to it. They were FBS, or they were a 1AA school then. And it was just, this school that you heard about. You read in the Gazette on Sunday morning, they played Nicholls State or something like that. And then they landed a recruit named Jonathan Adams. Now, most people don't know who Jonathan Adams was. I believe he went to Osceola. He was a top recruit, and he went to Arkansas State. And then all of a sudden, Arkansas State gained a little bit of traction. But it still remained this outpost until right around, it's probably been about 15, 20 years when Hugh Freeze got there. And they started winning games, and they started winning bowl games. And you look at their coaching tree, Freeze, Malzahn, Harsin, and Blake Anderson, and now Butch Jones, you can argue that that's a pretty good lineage of coaches, and they've won a lot of games. Now, they haven't won a game against a Division I opponent, or excuse me, a Power 5 opponent since 2020, and that was against Kansas State during the COVID year. They've beaten an SEC program, and we're going to call them an SEC program. If Sankey can claim Kevin Durant as an SEC legend, you can say that Arkansas State beat Texas A&M way back when. So they do have a win over an SEC caliber opponent. It is going to be interesting because all week long, and I don't know how I'm up here, and I've got we got our contingent up here. You're in the River Valley. You've got your contingent there, but I feel like this game has picked up momentum as the week has gone on. And it feels like people got more engaged. By Thursday, I was starting to get, hey, if you have 2 tickets, you know anybody with tickets? My good friend Suzanne from Van Buren called me yesterday. Do you know anybody with tickets? And you started to see that interest as the forecast cleared up. By the way, it's going to be clear if you're headed down to War Memorial. As it cleared up and we got closer to this, Arkansas fans kind of got off the platform that, well, we don't need to play this. This is beneath us, to now it's a football game.
Yeah.
And I spent some time this week taking in some of the Arkansas State media. And let me tell you something. They're going down there to win the football game.
That's right.
And they're going – I've said this for years. Arkansas State would play you in a parking lot if you let them. And they do it for free. They're taking $900,000, which is below what an SEC program will pay for something like this. And some of it has to do with where you're playing the game. But Arkansas State doesn't care. They just want to play the game. Arkansas fans, I'm not saying the team, but the fans have spent most of the week – arguing back and forth over whether or not this game's legit, whether you should play this. And my favorite phrase, there's no upside to playing Arkansas State. Don't play scared. And that's the way Sam Pittman and his group have got to come out today. You cannot play scared. I get the feeling that, Arkansas State or Arkansas fans have been repeating over and over and over again on our show, your show, all the different shows that we have that, well, there's no upside to this. If we lose, we're going to hear about it for 40 years. Well, don't lose a damn game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very simple equation. There's no upside to playing Alabama A&M. There's no upside to playing a directional Louisiana or a directional Missouri or an FCS opponent. There is no upside to playing those football games. There is an upside to this.
There's always an upside to notching another W on your on the win column as well. And it is interesting, Zach, because I feel like this game has sort of had that snowball effect, like you mentioned, of how it's sort of picked up this momentum throughout the week. And one thing that I think is going to be really interesting is they've played, what did we say, 200-something games there at War Memorial Stadium for the Razorbacks. This might likely be the largest opposing crowd against
Sure.
you. It might be. So there could be 10,000 Red Wolf fans there that are going to be cheering loud whenever the Red Wolves have the football and make a good play or make a stop on defense. So it'll be interesting to see how the Razorbacks respond in an environment they're all used to, winning football games for the most part there, and as well as having 50,000 Razorback fans for the most part screaming their heads off in favor of Arkansas. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But, Zach, it's the 4-7-9 versus the 8-7-0 and the 5-0-1. It's a real statewide type of game. I saw people on the on X and on Facebook saying, hey, is the local station carrying the game? Is the local station carrying the game? It probably should. That's not how things work anymore, unfortunately. But it's a real statewide thing. So there's some pride on the line. And like you mentioned, you can't go out there and be afraid of a program that 9 times out of 10 you should beat. To borrow a line from Hugh Freeze, you should be able to beat Arkansas State, even if you are playing in a parking lot, even if you are only paying them a certain amount of money. You could pay them half your roster's salary. You should be able to beat Arkansas State 9 times out of 10 if you're Arkansas, and hopefully today is one of those 9 times.
There's a game on TV sitting here right in front of me in my living room.
Yeah.
Iowa State. These teams don't have to play each other, but they're in-state schools. They play each other. West Virginia plays Marshall. Tulane plays LSU. There are instances where state institutions, flagship institutions, if you will, play teams that are, in the Sun Belt, in the WAC, whatever the situation may be. Arkansas has ducked this for, the entirety of their program. And it hasn't been from, the Arkansas State angle. Arkansas State, again, would play you in a parking lot. Arkansas has refused to refused to acknowledge that A-State exists. And for me, I don't understand it. It's not like Sam Pittman's out recruiting the best players in the state of Arkansas anyway. So you're not losing recruits to A-State. This is about what could happen, and you can't play like that. And I don't think that the football team will be affected by that, but you know as well as I do. If something goes wrong in that first quarter, that pucker factor starts. All the pressure's on Arkansas. You can't run from that. They're expected to win the game. They're, depending on, who you look at, 20 to 25 point favorites. They're expected to win the football game. I don't care if they cover or not. Just win the football game. I feel like I've said this all week long. I've said this for a month. I feel like this is going to be one of those games where Arkansas just slowly pulls away, where it's 24-10 at halftime and it's 35-10 at the end of the third quarter, and they wind up winning it 49-17, something like that. I guess the only thing that could happen, and this is, is Arkansas State can put up some points.
Yeah.
Can they withstand the first couple of minutes and not go 3 and out on the first drive, let Taylor Green go crazy, and all of a sudden they're down 7, and now you feel like all that sand is pouring into the hole that you're in? For Arkansas State, man, it's just about controlling your emotions. They're going to come out flying. We know that. Arkansas just has to take that initial punch from them, and they should be able to. They should be able to withstand it, move on, and go forward. But I have been absolutely fascinated by the number of people that have come to me and said, well, there's no – I call him out by name. My analyst on the Springdale broadcast, Robert Johnson, I love him to death. He's one of the best people in the world. Doesn't see a point in playing this game. I see every point in playing this game.
Yeah.
You can take everything that has happened, every Arkansas State fan who has run their mouth at you, why won't you play us, for the last 25 years, and you can tell them to shut up and send them packing. And I believe Arkansas will. You can put it to bed once and for all. Sometimes, if you're Arkansas State, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you'll get it. And that's the way Arkansas has to go into this. I expect by the time the game starts that that thing's going to be at a fever pitch, and we're going to be rolling right along. And I think I think Arkansas will slowly pull away. A-State's going to connect on some plays. They're going to score some points. Arkansas just has to keep their composure. They've got better players, and they got more of them.
It'll certainly be nice to muzzle the chihuahua that's been nipping at your heels for all these years. Just put it to bed, like you said. You should be able to go out there and execute, withstand that initial punch. You can't let one turnover, one mistake end up, in the first quarter, something like that, one blown coverage, put this entire team and this entire season and the entire fan base's perspective of your team, unfortunately, in jeopardy with something like that. You should be able to go out there and execute better than Arkansas State. They're missing one of their top players and running back, Jaquez Cross.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Jaquez.
So. Now Corey Rucker, that's a
receiver
D1 receiver. Yeah, they do. It is Arkansas Game Day. We're brought to you by the Stadium Shop, your Game Day headquarters. Whether you're looking for tailgate stuff, stadium ready, gifts, all of that stuff, Robert and his family have all of that. Also, make sure and get yourself registered for the Ultimate Game Day giveaway, $1,000 worth of gift cards. I like the number 1,000, and I like it when it says gift cards. Gift cards, the gift that always fits. We're also brought to you by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, celebrating more than 15 years of scholarships. Learn more at myarkansaslottery.com. You can join the show, 877-377-6963. That's call or text. You can text the number if you're on your way down to Little Rock, want to hear from you. If you just want to call in and give us your prediction on the game, that'll work as well. He is Colton Little. I am Zach Arns. We are here for the next hour and 45 minutes. We're going to talk some Arkansas State because, let's be honest, we don't know a ton about Arkansas State, but Colton and I do. We'll do that up next. You are listening to Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the hole!
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks. Did you see?
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Bartley.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown, Arkansas, Raylan Sharp.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
It'll be a big challenge, and they know when to go and play big schools. They played Michigan, a very, very close game last season, so we have high respect for their program and their coach, and looking forward to going over to Little Rock and playing the first game ever between Arkansas State and the University of Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Welcome into Arkansas Game Day. Alongside Colton Little, I'm Zach Arns. We are here for the next hour and 40 minutes. 877-377-6963. That'll get you in on the program. And Colton, the 11 a.m. window has started. And I ask you, is there anything better than a quad box?
Oh, it's so good. We got it on right here in the studio right now. Iowa State, Baylor and SMU, Illinois and Duke, and then Texas and San Jose State.
We're watching the exact same quad box.
It's why I pay for YouTube TV, baby. It's worth
That's
every
exactly
second
right.
in college football and basketball season.
So it is underway. The football game day. We had a little NFL last night. High schools are 2 weeks in, some of them. And, again, we're back into that rhythm of college football. Feels like, everything is right with the world after a long summer. Question here on the text line. Brandon and Paris, Colton, I'll ask you this question. Assuming a win today, what would be considered successful? Do they need to win by 3 touchdowns? Or if less, is there cause for concern?
I think there's going to be cause for concern if we see some of the same issues that we saw last week, which, like you said, Zach, I know that it is week 1, and, wise men make observation and fools draw conclusions. But I do think that last week there were some things that were a little bit curious on the defensive line, especially after that first drive, and there wasn't a lot of pressure that you got as the game went on. But I do think that if that is something that rears its ugly head again, maybe you might say, what's going on? But at the end of the day, if there's a 21-point deficit, if they're winning by, like you said, if it's 49-17, people aren't going to find too much to pick apart about the Razorbacks' performance.
Not name dropping here. I'm just adding credibility to what I'm about to say. Dal Logan's a good friend of mine, and he and I were talking over the summer, and he said, when you get into games where you have first-year head coaches, first-year coordinators, you don't know what they're going to run. You don't have preseason games. You can't see everything that in your game plan is a guess based on history. You can have a coordinator go in and change everything, and guess what Alabama A&M had last week? First-time head coach, new coordinators, a new system. Arkansas adjusted to it. And we saw a lot of that last week where you saw first-time coordinators, and I'll use Arch Manning as an example. OSU's defense is very good, but Matt Patricia is there for the first time. You don't know what he's going to do. You have no idea. So you're adjusting on the fly.
Yeah.
So, yes, week 1 can be a little clunky. You should see week 2 and week 3 be a little bit more smooth because you've got game tape and you see what these teams want to do and you see what their tendencies are and those sorts of things. So sometimes week 1 can be a little bit misleading if a team struggles or a team just absolutely boat races someone. It can be very, very misleading. Now let's
you hear
talk
that,
about
UNC fans. It may be okay.
I think they got some problems, but I also think TCU is very good.
They are very
TCU
good.
is maybe a little under the radar, and I think OSU's defense had a lot to do with why Arch Manning struggled last week. I think Miami's defense is very good. That's why C.J. Carr didn't get it going until the fourth quarter. It's just week 1. We've got a ways to go. Everybody settle down. Let's talk a little bit about Arkansas State. They got some news that Jaquez Cross is not going to play. Now, he is sort of a running back, slot back. I'm trying to draw a comparison, kind of a Isaiah Pacheco type.
Yeah.
For Arkansas State, he's their home run, but he may not be the soul of that offense. I think Corey Rucker is, and I think they're going to have to work to get the ball to him. And this falls on Arkansas's front four. And I've said this for years and years and years and years. If Arkansas cannot get pressure with 3 or 4, and they have to send 5 or they have to send 6, you're in trouble. I haven't seen it yet. I don't see an elite level edge rusher on this team yet through 1 week, so I'm not drawing massive conclusions. But they have got to be able to get pressure on the quarterback today. You've got to be able to locate Rucker. They're going to move him around. It's going to be one of those Where's Waldo type deals. You're going to have to know where he is on every play.
Yeah, Corey Rucker is a very good wide receiver, and he only had 2 catches last week, but they're for 59 yards, meaning that he had 2 explosive plays for the Red Wolves offense. So that's something that you have to be very, very cautious of if you're an Arkansas defensive back. And they were at times last week where their coverage was a little bit soft. And like you said, not only is it a new offensive coordinator, new everything, so you have a lot of unknown for Alabama A&M. It's also one of those things where, Zach, every single team has their first scripted drive. They've been working on those 10 plays since May, so they better be perfect at this point. But Arkansas came out and had some soft coverage at times. They were luckily, I think Julian Neal ended up leading the team in tackles on that day, or had several that he probably shouldn't have had to make. So you don't want your cornerbacks to have to come up and make a bunch of tackles all day long. So I want to see these defensive backs be able to, like you said, follow Corey Rucker wherever he moves around, and then be able to basically lock him up. Because if you can do that, I like your chances against this Arkansas State defense or offense.
I'm really big on boiling things down to a number. Look for this, look for that. 19 missed tackles. Last week against Alabama A&M. That number's got to come down. You want it in single digits if you can. Ideally, you'd like 0, but 5 to 10 is about normal for a football game. You start getting into 12, 15, 19, they're going to have some big plays. You can't have that against this group. Arkansas State will put points on the board. I'm not worried about them scoring. I don't know if Arkansas State can keep Arkansas under 40. Here's the thing that we know about Bobby Petrino. He's very creative. But when he gets in trouble, he goes back to his basis. He goes back to what has always worked for him, which is the power zone, the zone read type stuff, and the crossing routes. Arkansas State's going to have to play zone almost exclusively because you can't hang with the number of receivers that Arkansas has. Old coach of mine used to say, look, we trust our 4th receiver against your 4th D-back. That we feel like we have an advantage there, and I'm sure that Bobby Petrino will use that sort of stuff. I'd like to see Arkansas run the ball a little bit better than they did. Now, again, I'm not big on
They were vanilla.
I'm not big on the total yards. Show me what the average is. If you're over 5, you're good. You run it 5 times, for 25 yards, but you average 5 yards per carry. Okay, cool. That means you're getting off your blocks, you're blocking people up, you're moving people off the line of scrimmage. Arkansas is going to have to reset the line of scrimmage on run plays today. You can't let this Arkansas State defense, which is undersized, move and slant. And remember Liberty a couple of years ago, and all they were doing was slanting and getting inside, that sort of thing. You can't have that happen today because they're better than Liberty is. They're better than Alabama A&M is. And you don't want to get into those situations where you're making Talon have to throw the ball down the field. You want him in rhythm, making off-script plays, and that's when they're at their best.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good last week doing that as well. The one thing I think that Arkansas State, if they want to have a little bit of success, we've seen this a couple of times last season, and also Alabama A&M did this to success for a few times early in the game. They put a spy on Talon Green. Wherever he went, there was a guy following him. So if Arkansas State has anybody that can match that level of athleticism on the defensive side of the football, that may be something that Arkansas has to adjust for as well. I don't know if anybody can really, truly track him down in open field. I haven't got to watch a whole lot of Arkansas State football this season when they played against SEMO last week. But Talon Green, like you said, his best ability is to get off script, move out of the pocket, and extend plays either with his legs or with his arm. So if he's able to do that, I like Arkansas's chances today. But you want to keep him clean. You want to show that you're able to set a pocket for him to try and work with. They went out in the offseason and got the left tackle from Georgia Tech. He did okay. There wasn't a real edge threat for Alabama A&M. Not sure if Arkansas State's going to have one today that's what they're going to see all season long, but it's going to be better than what they saw last week. So can you do that? They're probably shuffling around the offensive line a little bit today. I know that we could see Harris maybe slide over to guard and have to do something with Branham, and then maybe try McCroy at right tackle. So we could see something different from the offensive line today. But one thing I do want to see is you went out to try and shore up your pass protection a little bit. Can you still run the football? Like you said, it's about the average. They did 4.8 last week against basically, it was an FCS team, but Mike Washington had 8.6 yards per carry. So either we talked about him and hyped him up all offseason. Let him eat today. Give him the ball. Feed him the ball. He only had 9 carries. Give him 10, 15 if you need to. Put this game away early from a physical standpoint.
You can deal with physical errors. You can't deal with the mental errors. Can't turn them over. You can't drag Arkansas State along. Can't keep helping them. You can't turn the ball over in your own end. Punting is okay today. You just don't want to. You just want to see them make plays, make smart plays. Don't do the dumb things that we've seen in the past, which have kept maybe teams that were a little bit less talented. Oklahoma State is coming to mind last year. You do the dumb things that keep teams in games, because this is one of those games where if Arkansas State is in it in the third quarter, man, it is going to get tight. And Arkansas State will be playing with nothing to lose for, and Arkansas will be playing with everything to lose for, or everything to lose. And that is one of those things that Sam Pittman's history doesn't play well in games like this. This is just one of those games you just want to see him go out, put it away, and not have to worry about it in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
This is Arkansas Game Day. He's Colton Little. We are moving towards the Learfield pregame, which will be coming up at 1 o'clock. We're here for about the next 90 minutes or so. If you want to get in, it's 877-377-6963. When we come back, we're going to talk about Butch Jones, because Butch showed something last week that I think is worth noting. It's something that Arkansas State has not done a ton of, and Arkansas better be ready for it. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs, Chuck.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The big Jelco Outdoors summer clearance sale is going on now. Summer clothing by Ariat, Drake, Under Armour, Wrangler, and more. Men's and women's clothing now 50% off. Select Western boots by Ariat, Justin, R. Watson, Durango, and Twisted X, 50% off. Lazy Man box blinds for hunting season. Save hundreds of dollars off. Don't miss the 50% summer clearance sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Summer is ending, and now is the time to check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake and surf boats, Kama's bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Find them online at Kofer's.com. That's Kophers.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. This is a game changer for the Van Alma community. Sharp Equipment is now open at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren. No matter what sector of heavy equipment you're in, you'll leave Sharp Equipment with new ideas, new relationships, and new opportunities to grow your business. Sharp Equipment is locally owned and operated, so whether you're needing to stock up on filters, order replacements, or renting equipment for the next big job, this is the perfect place to shop locally. Stop in at Sharp Equipment, now located at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give them a call at 479-649-0500 to see how Sharp Equipment can help you move more than just the world. They help you move forward.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown, Arkansas, Raylan Sharp.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
It'll be a big challenge, and they know when to go and play big schools. They played Michigan, a very, very close game last season. So we have high respect for their program and their coach, and looking forward to going over to Little Rock and playing the first game ever between Arkansas State and the University of Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
877-377-6963. That is the phone number here on Arkansas Game Day. You can call or text. And alongside Colton Little, I'm Zach Arns, getting you set for Arkansas and Arkansas State in just a couple hours.
Hey, let's go to the phones real quick, Zach. We got Cody from Rector on the line. He's been on hold for just a minute. Cody, what's going on, man? How are things down in Rector? What do you feel about the game today? It's a historic matchup. How do you feel?
How y'all doing, fellas?
Good.
I'm really excited about this game, fellas. Last week against Alabama A&M, the defense came out flat-footed. I think a big part of that was not having much film on that team. The only film we had was from the previous college that coach coached at, and I think that was the biggest problem with the defense last week. The offense, I have no worries about the offense. Omega Blake, I mean, we got a lot of receivers to throw to, guys. I think our offense is going to be a major problem this year. But in this game, I think the defense needs to definitely start faster than last week. But I really don't think Arkansas State can keep up with our offense. I don't think they can stop our offense.
Don't disagree with any of it. I'll tell you, the guy who recruited Omega Blake to South Carolina was Dowell Loggins, and I talked to Dowell about him, and he's like, this is a guy, if he puts it all together, this is he said, that's a dude. That's one of those guys, and he's just yet to put it all together, but this is a situation. Look at your last opportunity. He looked great last week. We'll see what he does this week as the competition ratchets up.
Cody, appreciate the call. We got one more caller on the line here. We got Mike from Hope. Mike, good morning. How you feeling? Arkansas Razorback Game Day. You're on. What's up?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Great.
Excellent.
So it's Mike from Hope is what I told him, but I just work in Hope now. I was born and raised in a little community called Central right outside of Jonesboro. So I'm going to give you my 2 cents.
All right.
First of all, I have to kind of rebut or take exception to the comment that was made earlier that ASU would play us anywhere, anytime in a parking lot. That might be so in football if you want to just take football. But I remember a few years ago, we had an open date, both teams in basketball, and we begged them to play it, and they wanted nothing to do with it. Do you guys recall that?
I don't off the top of my head, but different administration. Basketball's one thing. Dave Van Horn's played them in baseball. Football is the golden goose. I think we all kind of understand that.
I get that, but to refresh you, I think their coach's name was Baldo, and he tried to say that we're not going to play them because we're nobody's little brother or something to that extent. Okay, now here is why I take the side of this game does not need to happen. First of all, I'm a big fan and have a lot of respect for Frank Broyles. Frank Broyles did more for this university probably than anybody. So I just feel like this is kind of spitting in his face in a way. But secondly, you gentlemen don't live and have not lived in Northeast Arkansas, I'm assuming. And just like the caller earlier, right before me, was from Rector, that's just a little ways outside of Jonesboro. And you got probably 75 to 80% of people up there that are Razorback fans.
Mm-hmm.
But that other 25% that are Red Wolf, Indians, whatever they're calling themselves this week, fans, they will never, ever, ever let the Razorback fans up there hear the end of it. It is different than when UL Monroe beat us, when Liberty beat us. And by the way, I'm not sure ASU's better than that Liberty team then. I thought they were ranked in the top 25 at one time, but they might not have been. But it's not the same, because if ASU somehow, God forbid, won this game, you would never, ever, 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 ever hear the end of it. If we win by 50, oh, you're supposed to win by 50. You're from the SEC, okay? But we win by 14, 10. Look at there, we almost beat you. So to me, there really is nothing to gain. I'll shut up and let y'all talk.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. But that's what I'm talking about. Go win the game.
Yeah.
Just go win the game. You're playing scared. Well, this may happen. You got to go in with the attitude, it ain't going to happen. It's not happening today.
If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, Zach, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. But it's not. You have to go play the game.
I've never understood this mentality. And look, I went to school there in the early 90s. One of the worst stretches of college football in the history of that program from 91 to 95 was awful. Every game was the exact same. Well, we hope, we wish, we think, instead of we're just going to go do this. And that's got to be that. When you flip to that mindset, you become a very, very dangerous and a very, very different team. This just feels like, well, we don't want to play it because we might lose. Well, don't lose. It's very, the equation is very simple. Mike's right to a point where you go, well, if you do win the game by 50, yeah, you're supposed to win the game. But you can look at him and go, damn right. Yeah, we beat you by 50. But it's that flip side of it. And I think it has more to do with the Razorback fans than it does the program. I think the program's somewhat insulated from a lot of this. And there aren't a lot of kids that are invested on the football teams, plural, that are invested in this rivalry. It's just another opponent. But when you come out of that chute at War Memorial, you will feel that it is different. It's going to be different for a while. Emotion lasts for a little while. Then it becomes a football game. Then it becomes X's and O's, who's a better team, and that's where Arkansas simply has to take care of business. If you don't turn the ball over and you don't drag them along, you're going to win the game comfortably. It's when things get sideways, things get messy, and everybody starts puckering up. That's when Arkansas gets themselves in trouble.
As for the disdain of Frank Broyles, his ghost will be haunting that place for many other reasons as for them playing Arkansas State. He's got plenty of stuff he could be upset about, I'm sure. But that's probably not one of them. Look, this game had to happen at some point. I'm glad that it finally is. It's good that it's going to be a swan song for a place that everybody has some sort of affinity or a tie towards in some way if they're a Razorback fan. So it's a good thing. But like you said, you can't run scared from a team that you should be able to beat. And half of winning these games and half of becoming an elite level athlete and a good program is never for 1 second letting the doubt creep in, letting the doubt overtake you once you're on the field. And it takes winning those games. It takes being in those moments to be able to execute and finish. And I think that the Razorbacks today, they should just be able to go out there and execute and finish. And if not, Mike is absolutely right. We will never hear the end of it from that minority. Not one time.
Okay. Yeah, he brought up basketball. These two teams, Arkansas and Arkansas State, played in the NIT in 1987. Yeah. And it was a close game, and Arkansas wins it at overtime. Is anybody still banging the drum on that game? I don't think so. Arkansas's won a national title since then. There is no comparison between the two games. We're making a bigger deal out of this than it really needs to be. It's a football game. Arkansas is a better team. If you go to the Football Power Index, 90% chance to win the game. Bet Saracen will tell you Arkansas is a 23.5-point favorite. You just got to go take care of business, and you will win the game. And again, I think it's a fan mentality, not necessarily a player mentality, but this idea that, well, if we you don't want to hear it from your friends that are, Mike, you don't want to hear it from your buddies. It's going to be okay. Arkansas should win this game. They should win the game comfortably. And when they do, you turn your back and you look forward to Mississippi next week. you get more out of this game, a bigger bump out of playing this game, because Arkansas State's a good team, than you would playing a directional Louisiana in what is nothing more than a glorified practice.
Yeah, you had to go out there and execute today because really the real litmus test, the barometer for where this season could actually go is going to be based a lot off of what we see next week in Oxford, Mississippi.
Exactly.
They're going to be playing a really good Ole Miss team that I'm sure is probably going to beat the brakes off of Kentucky today, who struggled against Toledo last week. So not there's anything wrong with struggling against Toledo.
Don't sleep on Toledo. Do not sleep on Toledo.
I'm not sleeping on Toledo, but but at the end of the day, Kentucky should beat Toledo by more than 5 points or whatever they ended up. That margin of the score, but they have Mark Stoops as their coach. Oh well. At the end, when all is said and done, Ole Miss is about to rock your world if you're not ready, if you're not able to execute and clean up the things that you didn't do last week. And last year, Ole Miss literally embarrassed you on your own home field. So you'd like to get some comeuppance for that, some get back if you don't mind. So you got to be able to take care of business this week to look forward. There should be no looking forward to next week. You got to dispatch the opponent in front of you. Go, what's the cliche? Go 1-0 every week. Do it. Just do it. Just take care of business. Don't play scared.
877-377-6963 is the phone number. You can call or text if you need something to make you feel a little bit better. Bielema is struggling right now. It's Arkansas game day. Colton and I will be right back. We're going to talk about Butch Jones and maybe something that kind of levels the playing field a little bit. That's next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the hole! Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
Did you? This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Archery deer season is almost here, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows from Hoyt, PSC, Prime, Darton, Bear, and Elite Plus crossbows from 10 Point, Wicked Ridge, Barnett, and Killer Instinct, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow techs with years of experience are on site to get you dialed in and ready to hunt. Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Randy Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Sharp Equipment is thankful for the proud and honorable men and women of our military who sacrifice their lives and their families' emotions for freedom every day. They are forever grateful for their dedication to our country. They pray for our courageous military troops and their families. This salute to our troops is courtesy of Sharp Equipment in Van Buren, Arkansas, where current and prior military personnel receive 10% off every purchase as a small token of their thanks. Sharp Equipment would like to remind everyone that we live in the land of the free, thanks to the brave.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown, Arkansas, Raylan Sharp.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
It'll be a big challenge, and they know when to go and play big schools. They played Michigan, a very, very close game last season, so we have high respect for their program and their coach, and looking forward to going over to Little Rock and playing the first game ever between Arkansas State and the University of Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Couple of minutes left here in the first hour of Arkansas Game Day. We got a text here from Mr. Pibb on the text line, 877-377-6963, wanting to check in if you've been following my potato salad journey this week. Yes, I have another tub of potato salad, which I will probably eat at some point today, just because that's what we do during football season. Colton, man, there's nothing better than a fully loaded potato salad from the world's largest retailer, man. There is just nothing in the world like it.
Are you a mustard or mayonnaise-based guy?
Mustard.
Good choice.
Not an animal. Come on.
You got standard.
Yeah, I mean, I've got standards. I mentioned it was 58 degrees this morning here in Springdale. Shout out to my Springdale Bulldogs. I ran for 479 last night. I woke up violent this morning watching a team run for 479. But I got my Madden Dynasty started, man. It is football season. We're into that rhythm of football. The leaves are going to be changing here soon. The weather's cool. It's going to be a beautiful day across the natural state. I did get Joffrey, our staff meteorologist on the Ruskin and Zach show, said that the storms will clear out. It's going to be beautiful sailing all afternoon. So if you're on your way to Little Rock, we are in for a good weather day. Now you have to just take care of business on the football end.
That's right. You got to take care of business today because you can't let Mike be right. You can't let everybody laugh at you. And I don't think what's so funny about this is like the players have no there's no historical significance to any of these players that are playing in this game. And it would be different if Arkansas State was a roster loaded up with a bunch of guys that Arkansas didn't want. But that's simply not the case. There's not a great outpouring of Arkansans on the Arkansas State roster as well as there is for the Razorbacks. So there's a sprinkling, I'm sure, here and there between both teams that I always heard my parents talk about this. We heard from Quincy Rose, starting defensive end for the Razorbacks this week, talk about how his family, some of them had gone there, and so they was waiting to see some of the anticipation behind that. But look, there is nothing that can be stated about the importance of this game other than you just have to get it done because you can't let all this talk, all the outside, all the fan perspective get to you, but I'm not worried about that from the players' perspective. They're not as plugged into that as we like to maybe think that they are.
So I watched a little bit of the A-State game last week, and Butch Jones just flashed something very quickly, and it was just one of those things that Arkansas it's one of those things you just put on tape, so you have to prepare for it. He went with that hypersonic speed, and Arkansas State had not shown that in quite some time, where you get up to, you make a play, you race up to the line, you snap the ball within like 10 seconds. And Arkansas is going to have to be ready for that. Arkansas is still learning, a lot of new guys on that defense, but that's something to keep an eye on. If they hit a big play, they're going to go and see if they can make one play into two big plays, something that certainly Travis Williams and his defensive unit have got to get themselves prepared for. We've got 1 hour to go. We're leading you right up to the Learfield pregame show. It starts in about an hour and 6 minutes or so. Colton and I will be here for another hour. You want to join the show? It's 877-377-6963. We're going to talk a little bit more A-State. We're going to talk about some Taylor Green, and then we're going to get Colton's prediction, because that is the ironclad
That's right.
lock of the week. That's coming up. So it's Arkansas Game Day. We'll be right back.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks.
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Previously on Halftime.
If I'm going to get my head smashed in, I'm going to at least play a player that's going to do it right and wants to be out there.
Listen to Halftime, weekdays from 11 to 2.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of communities. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want you to thrive. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
When Second's making a play, Short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Elma. From October 26th to the 29th, Crabtree RV will be having their big fall sale complete with great door prices. Bring the little ones on Saturday, October 28th for our community trunk or treat. There will be candy, games, bouncy houses, and more. Whether it's our big fall sale or trunk or treating, you'll not want to miss these October events at Crabtree RV Center in Elma.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones. Plus the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Sharp Equipment is thankful for the proud and honorable men and women of our military who sacrifice their lives and their families' emotions for freedom every day. They are forever grateful for their dedication to our country. They pray for our courageous military troops and their families. This salute to our troops is courtesy of Sharp Equipment in Van Buren, Arkansas, where current and prior military personnel receive 10% off every purchase as a small token of their thanks. Sharp Equipment would like to remind everyone that we live in the land of the free, thanks to the brave.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
And we're floating in a sea of red. Arkansas wins!
115 billion reasons. I love the Razorbacks.
Colby Hamilton. Can you believe it? Touchdown, Razorback. I got that one.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by
The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, celebrating more than 15 years of scholarships. Learn more at myarkansasLottery.com.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, largest inventory of Razorback merchandise in the business and locally owned by a family of Arkansas alums. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
It's that line, keep on rolling, put the ball right down the field with a chill rock, never feel rock, Arkansas will never yield.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
When they run through that A here in 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't need Viagra, but that's my Viagra when they run through.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
And welcome into hour number 2 of Arkansas Game Day, getting you set for the Razorbacks and the Red Wolves at War Memorial Stadium. First and only time engagement. We could like to call it a one-night stand on our show. It is also, it's going to be the last game apparently at War Memorial Stadium. We had great plans yesterday on the show for what we would do with the site there, but nobody seems to be listening. Game time today, 4 o'clock. We're leading you right up to the Learfield pregame in about an hour. My father, big Notre Dame guy, Notre Dame off this week, is taking an interest in the Arkansas State game, and he asked me, where can I watch the game? Well, I'm glad you asked. ESPN Plus or SEC Network Plus. Please check with your particular program, and you will find out how to do this. When I said plus on both of them, my father said, yeah, but what number? We have a streaming problem in this country with old people, my father in particular. He wants to know what number those are. I'm like, no, Dad, it's channel. It's, if you have the app, what's an app? And I'm like, you don't have the game. Don't worry about it. Go do something else. But if you're planning on watching it, ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus, or you can just pop on the radio and listen to it right here on ESPN Arkansas. He is Colton Little. I am Zach Arns. If you would like to join us, 877-377-6963. Arkansas, a 23.5-point favorite going into this. Colton, I'll ask you, do you feel good about the 23.5 if you were betting on it?
If I was betting on it and potentially losing my own money, no. 23 it's kind of a 23.5, 24 points. Arkansas State's going to score some points today. I don't want anybody to think that you're beneath the Red Wolves scoring points. Jalen Raynor is one of has such a great QBR rating, as one of the 5th best, I think, in all of college football over the last several years. So he's 5th among active FBS quarterbacks with 227 passing yards per game, And so Jalen Raynor is going to lead this Red Wolves team to score some points today. And I know that Arkansas is also going to score points. We saw that last week. We saw that a lot last year in Bobby Petrino's first year, and of course when he was really running things back in the day as well. So they're going to score, but I just don't trust this defense yet. They do have to prove it to me this week. So I wouldn't put money on it, but if you think you can, I'd say go for it, because it's not too bad of a line.
Ryan in Prairie Grove has texted on the text line. If they lose, I swear I will leave the state. See, this is the fear. So as a big Notre Dame guy, we have this condition called "Hold Me, I'm Irish," and it's the same sort of thing where you go into a game, you're good, you're the better team, but you're still fearful of having these things happen. Again, the only way that Arkansas State stays in this game, they can't match you man for man. Do they have some positional advantage? I think they do. You mentioned Jalen Rayner. I love Rucker. I think Rucker is a problem. And Arkansas's defensive backs are going to have to play well. If you cannot get pressure on Rayner with 3 or 4, that will be an issue. But I think across the board, Arkansas is better. Can't turn the ball over. Taylor Green has to be Taylor Green. And I want to talk about him for a little bit because I've seen some growth. I see some things that are still a little concerning, and it may not show up today. It may show up next week and then in ensuing weeks. But you're better in all positions.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're in trouble, return to your DNA, which is the run game, the power run game. You've got better people in that particular arena. I don't know that Arkansas State can line up and withstand Arkansas just pounding the ball at them over and over and over again.
Yeah, you need Mike Washington and Braylon Russell to kind of be a thunder and lightning type duo today. You can have Braylon Russell go in there and just physically overpower linebackers that he's probably just as big as, and running over defensive backs as well, and then let Mike Washington outrun him. Hopefully that's the game plan for the Razorbacks today. But Zach, I think you said it, the physicality can't be in question at any point in this game because you do have a better roster from up and down 1 through however many players they're allowed to have now, how many they can afford to pay. But Arkansas State's only returning, I think, 6 or 7 guys from their starters last year. Mm-hmm. So this is an inexperienced team as well. So have to take advantage of that you have played a lot of football. Your offensive line specifically has played a lot of football. Other than Kobe Branham, there's guys that have, 15, 20-plus career starts. The left side of your line has even more than that in Carmona and Robinson. So you've got to be able to lean on those guys today and overpower them whenever things may get in question. Look, Taylor Green, obviously, we talked about this before, Zach. I've heard you say it before. There are some mechanical issues that still rear their ugly head from time to time, but you can make up for that by being the uber athletic freak that he has shown and proven to be several times over. So hopefully today, Kalen Green is able to do what he did last week, which is have a fairly clean game, be able to extend some plays on his own when he needs to, and hopefully he doesn't have to take any of those shots and lower his shoulder and extend to make a first down today, putting his body on the line. Because I like what I saw out of KJ Jackson last week, but if anything happens today, super fluky, and Taylor Green goes out anytime this season, that offense becomes severely limited.
Last summer I went and I watched 144 throws from Taylor Green when he was at Boise, and I watched 144 this summer. There are improvements to his mechanics, and for me, with him, everything is between the ears for him. How fast can he process information? Does he believe in what he's seeing, and is what he is seeing correct? Reading that defense from the top down. That's where Bobby Petrino's his knowledge, his ability to teach the position. That's where I think he's made his best benefit. If you look at the numbers, and I use PFF a lot, it's a blunt tool, but you can see some trends. And I said last summer that Taylor Green's best throws were under 5 yards, slants, bubbles, hitches. And I think that bore itself out as the year went on. If you look at his throw charts, the further down the field, the lower his percentage got, the lower his grades got. Now, that's expected, but there was like a massive drop-off where he was in the 80s from 0 to 5 to it would drop down into the 20s when he's over 30. And, you want to see him somewhere in the 40s, so doubling that. So I looked at it again this past summer, and he did get better. His decision-making got better. There were still a couple of throws, especially after he gets hit. The knock on Mallett was that if they got around his ankles, Ryan got very erratic. But, boy, if you let him stand in there, man, he would stand and deliver, maybe unlike anyone we've ever seen here. Same sort of thing with Taylor Green. He reminds me a lot of Ryan Mallett from that standpoint. Stand in the pocket, deliver the football, and I think Taylor Green is going to grow as a quarterback. The best weapon he has is those off-script plays when he just takes off, and he's always got that in his back pocket. He can always do that. You just want to see him be able to run the offense the way it was meant to run and give plays a chance. Especially at the end of last year when he was getting hit a lot, man, the first time an opposite color would flash in front of his face, he would pull the ball down and run. Eyes go down, he's looking for a hole. As a quarterback, you can do that for a while, but in this league, in the SEC, and some of the teams that he's going to see later in the year, they'll be able to chase him down.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that you don't want him taking shots. You want him to be able to deliver the ball, get the ball to the playmakers, and be the distributor that I think we all think he can be.
And that's why, he's obvious. You said that he's similar to Ryan Mallett in some of those ways where he's going to feel that pressure, and it might make him a little bit inaccurate. But one thing about Ryan Mallett was never not going to trust his arm. And you mentioned Taylon Green. That's where, like you said, he's not able to process and see, look, can I make this throw and make that decision fast enough? When he's such a great runner, able to outstride his opponents for the most part, you're going to be able to do that. You're going to lean on that a lot, like you mentioned, Zach. But the guys from Ole Miss, the guys from Texas, they're going to be able to track you down. Those guys run 4.3s. Those guys run 4.4s. They are supreme athletes, just like Taylon Green. I think that he's hopefully from what I've seen from just this 1 week and some of the practice footage and just the body type of some of these receivers that's been brought in over this past offseason, he does have a couple of more guys that look like they could potentially be better receiving targets for him this year. The crossing patterns, obviously, they were basically run on air last weekend against Alabama A&M. But if those are open, Zach, I know those are a little bit more outside of the comfort zone of 5 yards like he's shown. But if they're open, those are money, easy throws for a quarterback that he can make, that he's repped, that he's done in practice over and over and over again. So not only does he need to get better from being able to process and trust what he's capable of doing mechanically, his receivers have got to be better, because I know we all like to say, well, we were just wasting Tesla last year. Tesla obviously is a physical freak. He did great, but there were times you can put the tape on where he was not able to separate, and the only person that was a big physical receiver like Andrew Armstrong. So Armstrong, while he wasn't the biggest burner, the guys this year across the board are probably a lot quicker. It's a whole different body type, Zach. That's one thing that I noticed last week was it's not, these 6'4", 6'5" receivers out there running for you anymore. It's some of these shorter guys that are quicker and able to get into space. So hopefully once those guys flash into space, Taylon can stand and deliver like we've seen number 15 do.
Best friend of a quarterback is a running game and a tight end.
Amen.
Second and 5 is ultimately where you want to be.
And the tight ends have been. And the tight ends they're not necessarily missing in action, but they seem to have not been quite as big of a part of the offense as it was in Bobby Petrino's first tenure here.
Yeah, which is unusual. But if you look at the Bobby Petrino, the way he has morphed from the offense that he ran at Louisville with Jeff Brom to what he ran with Tyler Wilson and Ryan Mallett to what he ran with Lamar Jackson. It's more Lamar Jackson now, that offense, than what we saw when he was here previously. Taylon Green fits that model, although I have seen him, and this is what can be so maddening about him. He can make plays. I had a defensive line coach from SEMO tell me this. He can make plays that only he can make, where you sit there and you put your hands on your head and you go, oh my gosh, I've never seen anyone do that. He also makes plays where you put your hands on your head and go, oh my gosh, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And that's the scary part, especially in games like this, where you should be able to just turn around, hand it to zero, get 5 yards every single time you run the football. But there's going to be that moment where one gets in traffic, and if Arkansas State gets their hands on it, then you're, again, as I said, you're dragging Arkansas State along. You shouldn't have to do that today. This should be a clean game. Arkansas's defense, I think, is still going to be a work in progress. Next week could be a little bumpy. Austin Simmons was a little bit better than I thought he was.
Yeah.
When I saw him last year versus what I saw last week, he might be a problem. But, Lane Kiffin schemed you up the last couple of years. I don't know that Arkansas State has the athletes to make those plays where, look, you're going to put a 50-50 ball in the air and they're going to go get it. I don't know that they have the guys. But if you drag them along and you give them that little boost of momentum, that little bit of juice, man, this thing gets really tight, and that's not where you want to be.
And one thing I do think that does serve you well today is that your back end on defense. I know that we talked about it all offseason of how, look, these guys are not only bigger, but they're also faster. Faster's yet to be determined. They didn't look as fast as I thought they should have last week, but bigger is certainly not in question. They did appear to have a really big secondary, not only just wide, but also tall. And so hopefully those guys are able to not let Arkansas State take the top off today, because if they make explosive plays, like we mentioned earlier, that offense is going to go up there and fire drill, try and grab another couple yards as quick as they can, not let you substitute, not let you get an extra defensive tackle on, because that we're really limited there in terms of a depth standpoint for the Razorback defense. So you can't let the defense, you can't let the defensive backs not be as physical as they are today, or as they need to be today. Otherwise, those Arkansas State receivers are capable of running past them. And like I mentioned, Jalen Raynor has, as long as he's been at Arkansas State, he's been slinging the the rock around the field. So that's a guy
That's
that has
the
a lot
danger,
of experience.
though.
Yeah.
That's the danger. And you know Arkansas State didn't show everything. They're going to show you something, and it may be the tempo thing. It may be you're not going to change your DNA, but you may show them, give them a little wrinkle that may get you a couple of first downs along the way. If you're in the car and you're not, you're out and about, the 11 a.m. window is underway. Texas is not having any problems. And, man, the Iowa State-Iowa game, living up to the hype.
Yeah.
6-3, 9:45 to go in the second quarter. If you listened to our show yesterday, Sterling told you to take the under in the first quarter. Guess what? Sterling was right.
Sterling makes people money, man.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Death, taxes, and the Iowa under is just, you can abide by
gosh.
You can set your watch by him.
It is a game that really, you are court ordered to watch this thing. There is just nobody in the world that finds this entertaining, especially after last week you had Texas and Ohio State, and then you throw on this.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible. This is Arkansas Game Day. If you want to get in, it's 877-377-6963. We're also on our YouTube channel, and gosh, I apologize. I look like absolute death this morning.
No.
That is, but I do have a nice photo of War Memorial behind you. When's the first game you went to at War Memorial?
So I've never been to a Razorback game there, Zach. I've only been one time. I remember it was 2006, the Rogers Mounties versus the Fort Smith Southside for the 7A championship. My dad was the offensive coordinator for Rogers.
To a Rogers championship,
and they lost. So that's the only memory I have in War Memorial. It was filled with tears.
I went to War Memorial. My first experience at War Memorial was in 1991. My first weekend that I was here. The Miami Hurricanes rolled in. It was ugly. 31-3. All I remember is I think my most vivid memory is Horace Copeland going 99 yards from Gino Torretta and doing a backflip in the end zone as he got there, and that was like, wow. I also one of my most vivid memories of War Memorial Stadium was the best team that I have ever seen in person was the 92 Alabama Crimson Tide with Curry and Copeland and Jay Barker and David Palmer, and they wound up winning the national championship.
They
beat
welcome
up
you
Miami.
to the SEC down there, too?
38-11. That is as physical a football team as I have ever seen. Arkansas was beat when they came out of the chute, and it was just it was the most impressive-looking group of athletes I'd seen until I saw Alabama in 2012.
Far cry from the Crimson Tide last weekend, that's for sure.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I got a buddy of mine that's an Alabama fan, and they may fire DeBoer sooner rather than later. It's $70 million. From what I'm hearing, Alabama doesn't have any NIL money, so $70 million may not be what they have. You may be stuck with DeBoer for a while. Alabama will get it figured out. They've got the athletes. They'll start winning some games. I don't know that they're going back. And again, we get spoiled by the Nick Saban era. Everybody thinks that's the standard. No, that's the outlier, the anomaly, what Nick Saban was able to do at Alabama. I think they're going to return to the mean, which is nice. I think Georgia has returned to the mean. I don't know who the best team in the SEC is.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching Texas. I don't think it's them. I think they're going to have some problems against really good competition. I do like SMU, though. Well, I guess Springdale native Rhett Lashley. That's not such a great play there, but touchdown Baylor. And as I say that, Baylor scores a touchdown. I think it's going to be. A fun year within the league. Arkansas certainly has a shot. I mean, look, you've got good teams on your schedule. You've got a chance to make some noise. Arkansas's got to solve some issues. This is Arkansas Game Day. Gosh, I'm sorry, Colton. We went a little long on that one. Just got going. If you want to join the show, it's 877-377-6963. We are brought to you by the Stadium Shop and the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. When we come back, we'll talk. We'll break this thing down. I've got a thought and a key to the game for you, Colton, that I'll throw at you. We'll talk about that next. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hawks, Chuck! Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of communities. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want you to thrive. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Archery deer season is getting closer, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows and crossbows, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow techs with years of experience are on site and ready to get you dialed in to hunt. Need gear? Infinity Sports and Outdoors has tree stands, saddles, plus blinds from Banks Outdoors. Find all your hunting needs now at Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
It's the final splash sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Your last chance to make a splash this summer. Make waves with big savings on a 15 by 30 semi-in-ground pool for just $19,999. For the ultimate backyard upgrade, buy an AquaCrete in-ground pool and get a free hot tub or sauna. Need something smaller? Select plunge pools are only $39,995. But hurry, these deals won't last long. The final splash sale happening now at Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, with a convenient drive-through. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown, Arkansas, Raylan Sharp.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
It'll be a big challenge, and they know when to go and play
big schools. They played Michigan, a very, very close game last season. So we have high respect for their program and their coach, and looking forward to going over to Little Rock and playing the first game ever between Arkansas State and the University of Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
We are about 37 minutes from the start of the Learfield pregame, which will take you right up to kickoff at 4 o'clock. You can hear it here on ESPN Arkansas Television. SEC and ESPN Plus will have the game. I have no idea who's doing the game. Do you?
Yeah, I saw it in the game notes. You'll have to let me remind. They didn't even have a color person listed on the Arkansas game notes, so I hope it's not just one guy trying to do it all by himself. Let me look.
Ooh, that's a tough gig, man. That is a tough gig.
It says Richard Cross doing the play-by-play.
Okay. All right. So that's coming up here in just a little bit for the next 37 minutes or so. Colton and I are going to talk about this matchup. 877-377-6963 is the phone number. Brian and Gravett, Virginia Tech fan. And we like all types here. He says, Arns, that's me. If we beat Vandy today, can I resume making fun of them, or do I have to sit out another year? No, if you beat Vandy today, you can start making fun of them. And I love Clark Lee. Mm-hmm. I think Clark Lee is one of the brightest minds in college football. Vanderbilt is a tough job. If you're winning 5, 6, 7 games at Vanderbilt, it's like winning 10 anywhere else. But I think Virginia Tech's here's the other thing is I think Virginia Tech's on the ascent. The ACC is going to be a very, very tough league, especially with SMU and Clemson and all the. I think the ACC on balance may be the most balanced league. I didn't say best. I said balanced. The most balanced league in America. Duke is given 11th ranked Illinois everything they want right now. So going to be an interesting year. But yes, Brian, I give you permission, green light to go ahead and make fun of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and as for Vanderbilt, Pavia, everybody's talking about him having the potential to lead this Vanderbilt team to, more wins than they've had in a long time. And I think that he is a really good college football quarterback, but that schedule, they got to play Alabama again. I know that Alabama is definitely not the same. Tuscaloosa doesn't terrify you as much maybe anymore, but LSU, then Missouri, then Texas, then Auburn, those are all schools that are probably better than Vanderbilt this year. So it's going to take a lot for the Commodores to be able to keep that same, level of expectation that they had with Pavia, leading them to some good wins last year. But at the end of when all is said and done, Diego Pavia didn't win the games that they needed to against Tennessee that they wanted to. So I think that Vanderbilt's going to be good, but like you mentioned today for him, Virginia Tech, their coach was on the hot seat coming into this season as well. He had a lot to do, and that ACC is pretty, balanced this year. One thing that I think you forgot to mention out of the ACC, Cal's quarterback, the freshman, the kid that flip-flopped back from Cal to Oregon, back to Cal, he can sling it. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, but boy, he can really, really throw.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fun race in the ACC. The ACC is probably, again, more balanced than they've been in quite some time. That's going to be a fun race. Look, there are a lot of fun races. The Big Ten's going to be fun to watch. And guys, Texas is back to struggling a little bit. It's 28-7. They're in no danger, but you just see them. You see the inconsistency of this team, and Arch Manning is struggling yet again. So, look, if Texas loses, I think we all win. Just my personal opinion. And if you're curious about the Iowa State-Iowa game, it's over. There's no way Iowa's getting to 14 points. 13-3 Iowa State with 4:45 to go in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break. We're a little bit behind, and then we'll come back and we'll break this thing down. I'm going to get Colton's prediction on this coming up as well. It's Arkansas and Arkansas State coming up in about 4.5 hours and about 30 minutes. We've got Learfield's pregame. It is Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Stadium Shop. Go by and see my guy, Robert. And when you're there, tell him that Joe Bonamassa sucks. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery also bringing you Arkansas Game Day. Check them out at myarkansaslottery.com. Colton and I will be right back. It's Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs, Chuck! Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's the final splash sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Your last chance to make a splash this summer. Make waves with big savings on a 15 by 30 semi-in-ground pool for just $19,999. For the ultimate backyard upgrade, buy an AquaCrete in-ground pool and get a free hot tub or sauna. Need something smaller? Select plunge pools are only $39,995. But hurry, these deals won't last long. The final splash sale happening now at Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires. Don't disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown, Arkansas, Raylan Sharp.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
It'll be a big challenge, and they know when to go and play big schools. They played Michigan, a very, very close game last season, so we have high respect for their program and their coach, and looking forward to going over to Little Rock and playing the first game ever between Arkansas State and the University of Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
About 28 minutes left in Arkansas Game Day. He is Colton Little. I am Zach Arns. Glad to have you along on Arkansas Game Day as we get you set for Arkansas State and Arkansas at War Memorial, the final, the swan song for War Memorial. This appears to be just a one-off deal between these two teams. I'm guessing unless Arkansas State wins, then Arkansas will immediately demand a rematch. But that's going to take place here in about 4.5 hours, and it's very simple, and I deal strictly in facts. I'm not interested in, the hyperbole of all of this. I'm not into poor-mouthing anyone. Arkansas is the better team. We agree on that, correct, Colton?
Yes, sir.
The only way that Arkansas State stays in this game is if Arkansas falls asleep and drags them along. We agree on that.
Yes.
So why, Colton, is most of this fan base, whether they will admit it or not, pensive about this particular game when this opponent is no better than some of your other non-conference opponents that you've played in recent years?
I think because you've been running from this game for such a long time, and I don't know if running is the right way, if because there wasn't anything that served playing this game for the University of Arkansas for such a long time, that message has been preached and it's seeped into the fan base for so long, as opposed to what the real message should have been, which was you should have shut them up a long time ago. I know you're not into bad-mouthing or anything like that, but I'm young enough to be. So you need to go ahead and take a little brother and put him in his corner today and make sure that this game is done by halftime, because the only way that a team that's nowhere near as good as you are offensively, defensively, special teams, head coach, anywhere you look, they shouldn't stick around. Put them in a corner, spank their butt, tell them to go stand over in the corner until the real big boys are done playing football, and then we'll get back to doing things the right way. You can't be afraid of this game anymore, people. Go down there, give it one last hurrah for all the ghosts of War Memorial, and finish the job. You should have done this so long ago, Zach.
I agree. Brian says I can't use pensive. That's a big boy word. I apologize. I will not use that word again. Look, I came here when I got here as a freshman in 1991. I knew Nolan Richardson. I didn't know anything about Arkansas. Certainly didn't know anything about Arkansas State. Yeah. I think the university has always taken this approach, and it's not just in football, but it's in the way that they've conducted a lot of their business, which is we're better than you. There's nothing you can do about it. They run this state. Mm-hmm. They see this as an opportunity to lose some of that the grip that they have on the state. I don't see that at all. I think this is you're not competing for the same athletes. You're not competing in the same conference. Arkansas has played Sun Belt teams before. This one, just you share a name. Mm-hmm. That seems to be there's nothing that these two teams or these two programs have in common outside of the first name, Arkansas. That's it. I think Butch Jones is a very good coach. He's one of 4 Division I coaches to take 4 different schools to a bowl game.
Good staff.
I think he is. If you have a coaching advantage, it's probably Arkansas State. But you could put Vince Lombardi over there. I still say Arkansas's got more talent. Mm-hmm. They've got more depth, and that is ultimately you can have I could go over and coach Arkansas to a victory in this particular one because you just have better players. It doesn't take a lot of skill to go, hey, throw the ball to 9, give the ball to 0, and just move people off the line of scrimmage. And I know I'm oversimplifying this, but that's the mentality you have to take. Is we're bigger, faster, stronger, and we're going to beat you, and there's nothing else that Arkansas State can do about it.
You can't have your faith shaken. Look, the Razorbacks are a great religion in this state, and it's not like if something really, really bad happens today. Look, they're going to make some serious changes in the football program. I'm not talking about firing people, but they will seriously reevaluate if anything goes super south today. But it's not going to take away the foothold that the Razorbacks have in the culture of this entire state, Zach. They're not going to power wash the Razorback off the cliff in Knoxville.
Exactly.
They're not going to take, they're not going to start taking statues down or anything like that. It's just
the Go Hog sign in Atkins is not coming down.
They're not going to do that. It's not coming down.
Razorback fans are not going to be flocking to Jonesboro next week if Arkansas loses the football game. It's the boogeyman, and that's what we're chasing here. Is you're afraid of the boogeyman. Ryan in Prairie Grove has just texted in. He is having some barbecue nachos, burgers, and 30 packs and 2 30 packs ready at his house here. Really. Wookie Porn, one of my favorite texters, pointing out that Arkansas has lost 2 Sun Belt teams.
These people don't text our show, Zach. These people do not text our
No. The lunatic fringe is loose right now, and that's probably not the best thing in the world for you guys. You're welcome. We keep the inmates
Good to hear from
at
Wookie
our time
Porn.
of the day.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's my 2 favorite words, Wookie Porn. But this all goes back to, and as an alum of that place, I don't get it. Like I don't understand the apprehension. I never have. And when Frank Broyles would talk about it, it was like, what are you doing? Why are you running from a team that just simply isn't in your league? Now, you're going to get them on the field today. It's 11 on 11. There's nothing that anybody can do except for those 22 guys on the field. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's going to come down to ultimately, is the 22 guys on the field. And Arkansas is better at probably 20 of those positions. If they execute, they don't have to worry about this. It should not be a close game. However, Ball's oblong. It bounces funny. Things can happen. Arkansas needs to learn, and this is part of the maturing of a football team. They have to learn to weather those storms as well. And Arkansas has been awful at weathering those storms. When things get tight, they seem to fold up and they fold their tents up. Today's not one of those days when you can do it.
Yeah, and one thing they have to be sure they do today, Zach, and it's always one thing you want to do if you want to win the football game, but especially this Razorback team is they've let that they folded their tents up after one turnover or maybe one mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So today, if you turn the ball over accidentally, you let one fumble go, the oblong ball bounces the wrong direction, like you said. If that happens, you can't clam up. You can't do those things. Go out there today and create turnovers. From a defensive perspective, there are some things that you did last week that I thought were fine, but nobody really straight up flat out impressed me. I thought that's going to be a guy that could make a difference for us this year defensively. We heard all offseason that we may be thin right there up front at defensive line, but we're bigger and faster in the back end. And of course, these linebackers are stars. Well, I didn't see a lot of star player material from the linebackers last week. There were a couple times where Sorey got caught up in the wash. Dix was probably a few of those 19 missed tackles last week as well. They have some young guys they really, really like in Shaw and Tavion Wallace that have gotten some run recently. So I want to see that second level of the defense today create some turnovers and wreak some havoc on Jalen Rader. Because if they do that, Zach, like you said, they are better across the board, and it shouldn't be a contest.
They are. No, and it shouldn't. I mean, this is where you get the bigger, stronger, faster argument doesn't carry as much as I've got 35 guys, you have 11. Yeah. And that's where I think Arkansas can start to wear them down in the second half. Look, I watched a game last night where they ran the ball 70 times. And you saw those effects taking place in the second half. I'm not saying you go out and run the ball 70 times, but you start to see the physical toll take place in the second half. And that's where I think Arkansas can sort of withstand that because you just got more guys. Your guys are fresher. You're not giving the ball to somebody 20 to 25 times. And that is, to me, that's where Arkansas should be able to stretch this game out. The Honorable Bishop Reverend Dr. Coach Brother Pastor Tanner has texted, my kids asked me if the Hogs win, will I do the cannonball for social media? His answer is absolutely not. They are not worth it. Now, you know Pastor Tanner, Reverend Tanner.
The Honorable Bishop,
he is honored, or he authored one of the great post-game of all time. And it's something that I think should be studied by the Smithsonian. It should be studied by it's one of those things that should be in a time capsule and sent on a spaceship for other cultures to study. After the loss in the College World Series, Tanner put on sad music, went to his bathroom, and did a FaceTime for 41 minutes where he didn't say anything. Just sad music. Tanner in his bathroom. It is one of the things that. So if you can go find that on social media, it is out there. I've watched it recently. It's one of the great great things.
Yeah, you fit a lot of songs in
41 minutes. And it was sad. And you could, and you know what? You felt for him. You felt his pain. So Tanner, if they win today, cannonball away, man.
Yeah, man.
Cannonball away.
This would have been a good weekend to do one of those like barstool guarantees.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll shave my butt and dry and cover it in honey and walk around in a bee field or something like that. Like I would do that, but you shouldn't worry
about. Talk about?
No. I gathered the first one I could think of.
Boy, that seemed very targeted.
Yeah.
Seems like you've thought about that.
I'm allergic to honey.
Okay. All right. There we go. I learned something today. We will be back to wrap up this particular program. We're going to lead you right into the Learfield program coming up in about 19 minutes. We're going to get we'll get predictions. We'll get scores. Are they going to cover? Do you like the under in the first quarter? It's a full-service show here on Arkansas Game Day, brought to you by the Stadium Shop and by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. 877-377-6963 with your predictions. Colton and I will be right back. You're listening to Arkansas Game Day.
Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
Give me the Hogs, Chuck! Has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years, and he's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the bush light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The big Jelco Outdoor Summer Clearance Sale is going on now. Summer clothing by Ariat, Drake, Under Armour, Wrangler, and more. Men's and women's clothing now 50% off. Select Western boots by Ariat, Justin, R. Watson, Durango, and Twisted X, 50% off. Lazy Man box blinds for hunting season. Save hundreds of dollars off. Don't miss the 50% summer clearance sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most. To find your local agent, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Randy Hughes, in Fort Smith.
It's the final splash sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Your last chance to make a splash this summer. Make waves with big savings on a 15 by 30 semi-in-ground pool for just $19,999. For the ultimate backyard upgrade, buy an AquaCrete in-ground pool and get a free hot tub or sauna. Need something smaller? Select plunge pools are only $39,995. But hurry, these deals won't last long. The final splash sale happening now at Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life.
Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day.
Got a man wide open. 10-5, touchdown, Arkansas, Raylan Sharp.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff.
It's a big deal to the state.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by
the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery.
It'll be a big challenge, and they know when to go and play big schools. They played Michigan, a very, very close game last season. So we have high respect for their program and their coach, and looking forward to going over to Little Rock and playing the first game ever between Arkansas State and the University of Arkansas.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
One final time, about 12 minutes away from the Learfield pregame. Was talking to Phil yesterday, getting ready for the Arkansas and Arkansas State game. Is on ESPN Plus and SEC Plus. Of course, you can hear it right here on ESPN Arkansas as well. He is Colton Little. I am Zach Arns. If you want to get in with your game time predictions, 877-377-6963. Now, I am going to Herb Street this, and I'm going to tell you, here's what Arkansas needs to do. You win the turnover battle. You give up less than 150 yards rushing. This will not be close. You lose the turnover battle, you're probably not going to win a football game. The 150 number for me is huge. That means they're doing what they want, controlling what they want. If you keep them under 150 yards rushing, you're golden. Win the turnover battle, it's not even a question. And those are two things that Arkansas has struggled with against lesser opponents in the last couple of years.
I think if you rush for about 250 yards today, you should be able to just ground and pound your way all the way into a victory pretty forcefully. I think that's one thing that was missing last week, probably intentionally from the offensive tack, was showing a lot of physical run game and some of the more creative ways they can get the ball to their backs in the backfield with some space. I think if you were able to rush for 250 today and you're able to get some takeaways, Zach, I think you need to see a little bit of that from your defense, not only to help your offense, but just inspire some confidence in this fan base. That should be the key to a victory today.
Now, I've said this on our show a couple of times, but Corey Robinson, the left tackle, one of the best pass blockers in the transfer portal, available in the transfer portal. He was in the top 5. He was also one of the worst run blockers in the country last year, not just in the portal, in the country. Not a great run blocker. So, to your point, if they are running the ball well, it means Corey Robinson is playing it well. It means we've corrected a couple of things. They're controlling the clock and doing the things that they need to do. That's good. You've got the backs and the number of backs to do it. You know, if you've just got one running back like Arkansas State does and he's over 100 yards, you can do this by committee. You can control the clock. But now the other thing that does, if you're running for 250, that's taking the ball out of Taylon Green's hands. Are you comfortable with that?
Well, I think Taylon Green, I think that he's proven that he's gotten a little bit better from last season. He has hopefully a more complete cast of characters around him to catch and receive those passes. He should be able to distribute a little bit well today. He took a lot of hits last week, and I want to make sure that he's healthy going into the SEC slate. That's going to be
that's scary,
it's going to be such a difficult slog all season long. So I'm fine with however they win the game today, but I'm thinking today it's going to end up 45-24.
45-24, not a cover.
Not a cover. With a lot of those coming in they probably look like they're going to cover in the fourth quarter, and then everybody that bet the cover. Sorry.
Doug in Mountain Home says 48-12. I've said all along this feels like 35-10, 42-17 to me. This is just one of those games that Arkansas State will be comfortably at arm's length. Two scores most of the game. Brandon from Paris says 52-14. I don't have a problem with that. I think we're in that range. It just feels like a game where maybe for a quarter and a half we're close, and then Arkansas just slowly pulls away. It feels like one of those things where it's a 10-point game. They score, it's up 17, and then they get the ball right back and push it to 24, and then it's just they're at arm's length for most of the afternoon. Again, I win the turnover battle. Keep Arkansas State under 150, because if you do, that means you're making them one-dimensional.
Yeah, this is
Arkansas State's not good enough to be one-dimensional.
This is Arkansas Game Day. Zach, we're going to squeeze in one quick call right here before we wrap it up.
Go ahead.
Paul has got us on the horn here in Fayetteville. Paul, Arkansas Game Day, you got myself and Zach Arns. Paul, what are you thinking about the game today?
Hey, look here, fellas. I think what I want to see is somewhere around 285, 290 passing, at least 165 rushing, and just control the line on both sides of the ball. If it's closer than 44-10, I'm not going to say panic mode, but I think 44-10 should be enough to make a statement and show if the team's really got some gusto. That's it, man. Y'all fellas have a good one. Zach, I'll be on listening to y'all Monday.
All right, buddy. Be good. I don't disagree with that. I think if 30-point win, you feel pretty good about it. If it's, like you say, 21 and it's 45-24 and it's a back-and-forth game and they get two late scores to kind of put it away, Yeah, maybe you have a little bit of panic here, especially going into Mississippi. The way they can put up points, that would be a little frightening. But I just don't see it. I feel like this is just a situation where you've got the talent to keep them away from you for most of the game, and it shouldn't be that close. And if you go out and you take care of your business, I don't think it will be. And I think this is a comfortable win, and everybody gets out of Little Rock, and we never have to do this down there again.
Yeah, that's the overarching theme for all this. Is just get the heck out of Little Rock, get back to Fayetteville, where your university is located, where you have a multi-million-dollar facility that you should be playing in every single home game, no matter what. Get back up there, get healthy, and get focused on Mississippi, because that's going to be when the real season starts. Take care of business today. That's all you got to do. You're bigger, faster, all the stuff we've already talked about all day long. You should not have any problems in this game, but I just don't trust this defense yet to go out there and shut a team out like Arkansas State with a proven offensive weapons. So hopefully they prove me wrong and they shut me up, and I'll have to do some backtracking, but hey, that's what we do.
I want to see how Arkansas handles some adversity. I think that would be very helpful.
Yes.
It would kind of give us a map for where they're going. If things get a little dicey, do they have the resolve to fight forward? This has been Arkansas Game Day. That was Colton Little. I'm Zach Ards. Enjoy the game this afternoon. Don't be pensive. That's today's word, pensive. Pensive. We won't use those big words around here anymore. Appreciate you all listening. Learfield pregame is coming up. Kickoff 4 p.m. You can listen to it right here on ESPN Arkansas, or you can watch it on SEC Plus or ESPN Plus. For Colton, I'm Zach. Have a good Razorback victory. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Man family, Raleigh.
Hello, 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 and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the Stadium Shop.
Yeah, I've been around a few years, and I can say it's awesome to be